Back-to-back games for both teams as the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels host the Red Deer Rampage to the Jubilee Recreation Center on a busy Saturday night in Fort Saskatchewan at Sports Interaction. Rebels lacrosse committee for free on 12-ounce sports. Cody Jansen with the call this evening. We'll get into your starting goaltenders, scratches, and more as we move along. Be sure to support free lacrosse in Fort Saskatchewan by going to sportsinteraction.com/rebels and signing up on the best place to bet on sports in Canada. Refs ready, balls down, period one underway. Junior B Tier 1 Circuit Lacrosse. The Rebels 5-4 this season. The Rampage 1-8, but that's not for a lack of skill on that roster as Jackson Kohut gets the first shot of the game on goal. It's Colton Ferguson between the pipes for the Rampage. In transition now. Backdoor look off a good feed there off Parker Sola, the affiliate. Found St. Germain on the back door, wasn't able to capitalize. Offense will get set, and I would expect a lot of it to run through Isaac Tisdale. Jack Walton's in the corner now, takes a body check. Still going to bounce around as the shot clock expires between the pipes. You can see 0-0. That's Jordan Peck. He's got a .766 save percentage this year for the Rebels. Ferguson across the floor. He's got a .709 per the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League website. Jackson Baker up the floor. Pass back for Kohut off the crossbar. Thinks it bounced down. Ref says no. Kohut again out of the corner. Out in front. It's Fairholm. They'll say he stepped in the crease. Ref waved it off right away. He had a better angle than us, and he says no goal. We're still not at 0. Cooper Lavoie now. The righty thought about cutting towards the middle, pushed out by McAdam. Walton swings that one over, and a pass by Spencer Nygaard. Got knocked out. Carter Albrecht with it. Ethan Peterson's off the bench, and the captain controls. Josh St. Germain will defend. Peterson spins around a very young Red Deer Rampage team this year. Young, small, hasn't equated to many wins as Josh McCallions towards the net and he scores. Josh McCallion, the Stallion, got loose, finds the back of the net, and 2 minutes and 2 seconds in, the Rebels lead by 1. Seth Fairholm will grab an assist on the Josh McCallion marker as he draws first blood for Fort Saskatchewan. Justin St. Germain pass out in front, had a man all alone there as Tisdale cut towards the crease. Now in transition, it's Porter. Far side, little swim move out front, got pushed out by Evan Ertmote. Now it's McCallion. Up top has Riley Lewis off the bench. First star last night in the Rebels 13-9 win over the Beaumont Outlaws. Here's McCallion, bouncer, sticks side, goes high. You'll notice both Ferguson and Jordan Peck. You could call them silly siders, goofy goalies, whatever you want, but they hold the stick in their left hand. So a little bit of a different look if you're a shooter in this game compared to their counterparts on the benches. It's going to be shot from outside, and Spencer Nygaard evens it up. We're level at 1. Delayed call gets wiped out. And Red Deer scores on their third shot of the game as well. We're tied at 1. Tyler Clarkson has the Lucy off that face-off, and the assistant captain got one on the plums as well. He's going to go off in a little bit of paint. St. Germain far side. Up top, here's Nygaard, the goal scorer. Out of the corner, he's got Tisdale with him. Long range, Nygaard misses the target. And it'll be grabbed behind the net. Scrimshaw in front of the penalty boxes. Hands it off for Riley Lewis. Righty strong offense as Fairholm's the fifth guy out the O-gate. Kohut for McCallion. Took his eye off the ball and couldn't come down with the pass. Now it's going to bounce into the Rampage bench and a turnover by the Rebels. Noah Tavares grabs a hold of it, dodges a check from Seth Fairholm, and lets him get set. Walton for Park. Park's rocking an A for the Rampage this year. He's going to walk to the middle. The righty fires. Peck with the stop. Peck now throws that one a little in front of Michael Gillespie, but he'll wait and let the offense get to work. Jackson Baker's out there to set a pick for Seth McKenzie. Peterson off the bench. You get a strong lefty look now. McCallion out in front. Sub shot on goal. Ferguson closes the wickets. Tight game here as we roll through the first 5 minutes in Fort Saskatchewan. Red Deer, Fort Saskatchewan knotted at 1. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are watching from Free Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League, live on 12-ounce sports all season long, brought to you by Sports Interaction. Now cutting out in front, an open look, and they score. It's Cooper Lavoie. His 18th point of the season gives Red Deer a lead. It's 2-1. The Rebels defense get beat to the inside, and Cooper Lavoie makes them pay. Corbin Rayner's going to hand this one off. Parker Sola tossed to the ground. One of the first-year midgets getting the affiliate. Sola and Ryder Istis as well. Double underagers getting the call up for the Rampage here. Obviously, they're short in numbers. I was talking with the coaching staff before. Registration numbers just down in that central zone, so they didn't have much to choose from. But for the affiliates stepping up and playing a big role like they have already, that's got to be clutch when you look at the future of this organization. Rayner now back in his own zone. Ref calls loose ball push against Fort Saskatchewan, and they'll get a fresh 30 to play with as Jack Walton waltzes it up across the restraining line. Lavoie with St. Germain. Pass out in front was Lavoie cutting through the middle again. High dish, trying to pull it short sides. Walton this time. Peck got a piece with his foot, and it ends up in row number 2. Red Deer's going to call right out in front here again, and Peck took it off the chest, but it was cutting through the crease by Jack Walton. So the ref blows it down now in transition. That pass was going for Riley Lewis off the bench. Loose ball still there, and it's going to grab by Tanner Park. Pardon me, that's Evan Ertmode. The lefty controls. Now he'll hand it off for Park. Tanner Park up the floor. A little speed burst around LaFrance. Cooper Lavoie. Pass for Spencer Nygaard. Nygaard's got some space. 5-hole attempt. And Jordan Peck will hold his ground. McKenzie for LaFrance. 7 minutes into period number 1. Rebels trail by 1. Red Deer's coming off a 12-11 loss to Saskatchewan last night. Rebels are coming off a 13-9 win over Beaumont last night. Here's Kohut. Couple of moves, finds some space, low shot. Ferguson's going to get it pinned down on the ground with his right pad. Ferguson's made 4 stops, Peck's made 6. St. Germain, he's got Park with him. Tisdale finds some space out in front, but that pass went down for Sola. They'll give the Rebels possession. And Isaac Tisdale's going to go to work. 16 goals on the year for him in 9 games, 36 points total. Walton now out of the corner. That pass went off the stick of Tanner Park, and it's going to bounce around. Tisdale still down there. Sola to help. They'll go off for a change, and Fort Saskatchewan gets it in their own zone. 7:11 local time here in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta. I know it's a busy night in the sports world, but we do appreciate you tuning in rather than watching at the NLL Finals. Game number 1, Buffalo, Colorado, or the NHL Playoffs Game 3, Edmonton, Colorado, also going on tonight. Jackson Baker's out in front. Has to fight off a good double team slide. And this Rampage defense, they're really getting to the middle. They're taking away any opportunity in tight that Ferguson might have to face. And if they can do that for a full 60 minutes, that's going to cause some problems for a Rebels team that really doesn't have the outside shooter who can let it go. They don't have a Zach Wildeboer anymore. They don't have an Ethan Eng who's got those deadly shots from the outside. Now the Rampage out in front, and the lead's doubled up as Justin St. Germain found some empty space on the roadway. Glove side high on Peck, and it's 3-1. Ethan Peterson taking face-offs for the Rebels again. No Fraser Barrett tonight for them. Matthew Vent, Riley Longmire, Reese Walsh, and Reed Lowe are the other scratches tonight. Tanner Park has to back it up a little bit. Sola's off the bench. Boy, they're putting miles on the youngster already. Sola playing a normal shift on offense. Gets around Peterson out in front. Now it's a long look for Tanner Park. Peck with the easy save. Rebound grab by Fairholm, and then he throws it away, so Porter's going to have to sprint to it. Wyatt Avery, easy loose ball for him, and the big lefty runs it up into Rebels territory. Jack Walton down the half wall. Park's the late guy off the bench. Walton behind the back look there by Isaac Tisdale, didn't miss by much. Now finding some space is Spencer Nygaard. Rebound comes out in front, and Jack Walton's shot missed as well as the shot clock was expiring. Here's Kohan in transition, takes the defender one-on-one, and he scores. Jackson Kohan runs into Ryan Aristis, takes some contact, puts it in the back of the net, and it's a 3-2 game. Kohan unassisted, and Fort Saskatchewan looking to tie it up. Here's McCallion going to stick side on Ferguson. Bounces one out of play. Justin St. Germain has the third goal. As it stands, that's why they've got a lead right now. Lavoie. Walton. Good slide down low there by Scrimshaw. Cut him off. 8 to shoot. St. Germain has it. They do got time for a look here. Now a fadeaway by Lavoie got blocked, and they'll just dump it down. McCallion with Lewis. Jackson Baker down the highway, got tripped up. Penalty coming against Red Deer. Cohunt's got it. He'll fire low. Everything going low on Colton Ferguson. But Fort Saskatchewan should be going to the power play, barring any retaliation after the whistle. Evan Ertmode goes to the sin bin for 2 or less, and the Rebels are off to the power play. 9:01 left to go in period number 1. It's Cody Jansen with you on 12-Ounce Sports. It's a Saturday night in Fort Saskatchewan. No better place to be than the JRC. Down low, that pass was intended for Baker. It'll be Porter, Baker, and Cohut are your lefties on offense. Farrell, McCallion are the righties. Porter now takes a body shot from Baker, and they'll turn it over in transition. Tyler Clarkson gets the wheels going. Clarkson now takes some contact from Porter, but he ends it off for Park. Has to be careful around that restraining line. Park now, it's on the ground. St. Germain's in to try scoop it up. St. Germain comes out of it somehow. Off the hip, he puts it in the logo of Peck. Easy save for his 8th of the game. Cohunt for Peterson. McKenzie comes on as well as the new lefty. Cohunt tees it up top in between the arm and the chest protector of Colton Ferguson. Walton down low as Lavoie's just killing some clock here. 15 on the shot clock, 43 seconds left in the penalty by Evan Ertmode. Lavoie's just going to send this one behind the goal. Regan Walker lets the shot clock expire. And the Rebels power play will have approximately 27 seconds to play around with. Cohunt for McCallion. Up to Cohunt again. Pass for Peterson's a little too hot to handle. Porter back for McCallion, and again, the passing has not been crisp here as McCallion now takes a hit from the floor, bounces one wide. Penalty coming. I think it's going to go against Red Deer again, so they'll be shorthanded back-to-back times. That'll be the call as Wyatt Avery heads off. Would assume it'll be for a cross-check, but we'll get the official call here. 4 for a hit from behind. Oof. Stiff penalty there. As Wyatt Avery's going to go sit for 4 or less. Cohunt McCallion. They'll play give and go. Now it's Porter. Lets it go, gets tipped and out of play. Cohunt's up top to steer the ship on the power play. Porter tries to cut to the middle. Wasn't a ton of movement on that first power play. So interesting to see him try something else now. Now in transition, St. Germain with it. Couple of fakes, he's got Peck dancing, and he scores, but he stepped in the crease. Justin St. Germain. I think if it's the NLL, he's yelling to throw the challenge flag. Won't be able to do that in the Tier 1 circuit. And Jordan Peck escapes with a freebie. Cohunt, the Rebels have 6 on the floor. Almost didn't get caught as Cohunt does fire it in the net, but the Rebels got blown down. Not a penalty, they're on offense. But bad bench management gets 6 on the floor. And the Red Deer can kill another 30 off the shot clock. Scrimshaw, he'll push out Walton on the corner. In comes Park to help set a couple of picks. It's a 2-on-3 for the Rampage. Walton gets out of that somehow. Out in front and he scores. Jack Walton, short-handed, runs right through the Rebels defense, puts one past Peck, and it's 4-2. Off that face-off, a loose ball attempt got grabbed by Tyler Clarkson. Now Clarkson's going to find it for Solo, who gets run over in front by Porter. Solo's down on the ground here. They'll get the trainer out there and get some attention. Got hit in front, didn't exactly have the ball as the pass was intended for him. We'll let the trainer go attend to Parker Solo on the ground as we step aside. It's Fort Saskatchewan Rebels Lacrosse coming to you live on 12-Ounce Sports. Parker Solo's fine as he runs off the floor. Trainer will follow. Rebels still on the power play for the next 2:31. 5:31 left to go in period number 1. Jackson Kohut give and go with McCallion. It'll be Kohut up top. He'll steer the ship on the power play. Porter and Peterson are on his right. Kohut now wants to shoot. Tests out the logo again of Ferguson. Stretch pass intended for Isaac Tisdale. He's got a break. Tisdale to make the lead 3. Stopped by Peck. Well, that's who you want with the breakaway. It's the rookie, Isaac Tisdale. All alone, Peck up to the task. Short-handed, they can't allow a second one here. Peterson for Porter. He'll drive the goal. Ferguson with the save. Rebounds out in front, though. It'll get scooped up by the Fort. Peterson now pushed outside. Tough defense by Tyler Clarkson. Kohut's got a lot of room to let one fly, and that got blocked. Now Peterson goes and lowers a shoulder into Corbin Rayner. Jack Walton with it. 18 on the shot clock, minute 12 left to go in the double minor to Wyatt Avery. Rebels yet to capitalize on the power play. Now a penalty coming against Fort Saskatchewan. Walton played that his helmet was undone. Normally they would blow that one down right away, but it looks like Ethan Hackett's going to the sin bin anyway, so we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 61 seconds. Plenty of room on the floor. Justin St. Germain, the ball handler on top. Has Tanner Park with him as the other righty. Nygaard with Tisdale. Refs will give Fort Saskatchewan the call, and here goes McAdam burning down the floor, and he scores. Carter McAdam in transition, and the lead's cut in half. Jackson Porter's got the Lucy off the face-off. Shot came while McCallion was taking a squat in the crease. Tyler Clarkson just knocked that pass down with his hand. Savage, but Jack Walton now controls. Lead back down to 1 for Red Deer. Gritty team so far. It's 4-on-4, so the restraining line really doesn't matter. And now the Rebels just pressed for no reason. Stepping into one is Spencer Nygaard, and he's got his second of the game. The Rebels push 2 defenders up top. Really put themselves in a bad spot, and on a 3-on-2, Spencer Nygaard able to just walk one in. Blasted past Jordan Peck, and the Rampage have 5 in a period. Still 4-on-4 for the next 5 seconds. And then it'll be a Rampage power play for the next minute or so. Update from Buffalo. NLL Game 1's going on, the championship. It'll be the Bandits. They are leading the Colorado Mammoth by a score of 12-11 after the third quarter of play in the NLL championship. Buffalo up 12-11 on Colorado. In our game here, it's the Rampage. Battle of the R's. So far, Red Deer's had the better of Fort Saskatchewan. Nygaard for the hat trick. Floats one easy save for Peck. Tisdale's got the rebound. Over to Park, who'll take that shot. Another 5-hole attempt on Peck. They've beat him up high a couple of times. Gone hip waist once in a while, too. 5-hole attempts haven't really been that successful for the Rampages. Carter Albrecht now on the penalty kill. He's got it out in front. Trying to go across his body to go six-side on Ferguson. Bounces it out of the play. Porter's on the back check, and he's going to dump Josh St. Germain. Jackson Porter, A for effort. We're back to even strength. Both teams 0 for on the power play. Porter, fancy roll dish to Kohut. 1-on-3, Wisely pulls it back. Peterson now down the highway. Goes high to low. Ferguson, good kick for his 10th stop of the period. Now Ferguson getting into it with Peterson down there. Little gamesmanship never hurt anyone. So the captain and goalie got to go face to face for the first time in the game. LaFrance down there as well. Ball was on the ground for a second. Somehow Walton still with it. St. Germain, bouncer. Peck with a good kick, but a penalty's coming up against Fort Saskatchewan. Rebels will be short-handed for the next 2 or less as Nathan LaFrance goes to the sin bin. You got 71 seconds left to go in the opening frame as well. Rampage on the power play. Cooper Lavoie floats one down low for Justin St. Germain. Lavoie back for Tisdale. Quick stick on Bach by Mikey Gillespie. Here's Park. Wants to fire. Albrecht got in the way with it, and it's going to roll around on the ground. Here goes Carter Albrecht in transition. 1-on-1, Wyatt Avery's to defend. Albrecht trying to go, and Avery got the better of him. Noah Tavares. Not sure if there's any relationship to John Tavares Jr. I didn't do that good of research pregame, I guess. Lavoie's got Justin St. Germain up top. Now it's St. Germain, pass over. Sola. Low shot there by Justin St. Germain, got blocked, and Scrimshaw's behind the net. Has 8 seconds to get it up. Probably wants to move this one, and he will. Jordan Peck's gonna go off now. They'll play 5-on-5, but there's 5 seconds left. Got to get it to Kohut with 1 second. They won't even get a shot off, as McCallion's got to leave that on the ground. And after 20 minutes of play in the JRC, maybe a little bit of a surprise, but the Red Deer Rampage have been the better team through 20, and they lead 5-3. Don't forget, Sports Interaction Rebels Lacrosse comes to you free thanks to our great sponsors at Sports Interaction. You want to keep lacrosse broadcast free on the Tier 1 circuit? Go to sportsinteraction.com/rebels. Sign up there. It's the best place to bet on sports in Canada. sportsinteraction.com/rebels. You punch that in, you get a first deposit match bonus up to $500. We're back with a second. Fort Saskatchewan Rebels lacrosse is brought to you all season long for free on 12-ounce sports by Sports Interaction. If you want to support free broadcasts and keep them free, go to sportsinteraction.com/rebels. Sign up today. Best place to bet on sports in Canada. sportsinteraction.com/rebels, and you'll get yourself a first deposit match bonus of up to $500. After 20 minutes of play in the JRC, Red Deer's up 5-3 on Fort Saskatchewan. Shot 17-13 in favor of the Rampage. Both teams over on the power play. Rebels had 3 attempts. Rampage had 1, but they'll start this period on the power play for the next 49 seconds as Nathan LaFrance sits in the sin bin. Face-off win. Porter's got it near side wall. Jackson Porter bounces this one up for Baker. Riley Lewis now 15 on the shot clock, lets it go, got tipped over the net. Porter's got the rebound, comes down with it, and Colton Ferguson his first stop of period number 2. Rampage have about 16 seconds to work with on the power play, and it'll be Tisdale who hands it off to Spencer Nygaard. 2 goals in the first period for Nygaard. Down low, Tisdale with it, 5 to shoot behind the net. They're going to run it through Tanner Park. And he'll go short side and score on Jordan Peck. Park on the power play, or as the power play was expiring. And Red Deer extends their lead to 3. Josh McCallion takes a stick off the coconut. And that'll send the Rebels to the power play if they don't score 6 on 5. Pass is going to go through everyone. Cohunt off the wall. 10 to shoot. Wants that backhand dish. Instead he goes to Baker out in front. Ferguson's got the save. Stuck in his gear somewhere there. And jogging off to the sin bins, Wyatt Avery. We'll call the Tanner Park goal a power play marker just because we don't have an official ruling on it yet. But for my unofficial stat keep it, I'm counting it as a power play goal. Rampage up by 3. Rebels on the power play. It's Carter McAdam on offense. Puts it low on Colton Ferguson, and boy, for a goaltender with a .709 save percentage this season, he's been kicking in Saturday night's contest inside the JRC. Sola, pass down low, Peck controls. Seth Fairholm now. He's got Jackson Cohunt up top. Baker's with them. And the other lefty will be Porter. Pass by McCallion got knocked out. Still loose out in front. Fairholm's going to have to run to the corner. McCallion barrels over his defender, and that pass goes over Porter's head as the shot clock expires. Barrett Clark, the affiliate. He'll walk it up into Rebels territory. Can kill off the next 20 seconds of this penalty to Wyatt Avery. Pinned up against the boards. Ethan Hackett's in there trying to force it free. Now it's up in the air as they push him back. They won't call him back and over as the Rebels are the ones to punch it forward. Tyson Lewis out of the corner. Fort Saskatchewan's probably going to get one more look on this power play unless they go quick. But you got one stop set here. McCallion, Fairholm are your righties. A lefty strong look sees Jackson Baker up top. Now it's Cohunt. Lets it go from outside. Fairholm rebound, tucks it, bounces it through the crease. McCallion over to Baker. He wants to go short side off. Ferguson off the crossbar, not in the twine. Now in transition, it's Clark up the floor. Off the bench, going far side's Jack Walton. Back of the net, beautiful passing, and Red Deer up by 4. Jack Walton gets a feed as he goes on a beeline off the bench, puts it over 6 side on Jordan Peck, and it's a 7-3 game for the Rampage. Jackson Kohut now hopping around. He's got Cooper Lavoie on him. Couple of extra whacks. Rebels want to call. They're not going to get it. Now it's Kohut through everyone. Takes the shot and he scores. A ticked off Jackson Kohut runs it up the floor himself and buries one past Ferguson. It's 7-4. Peterson now. He'll send that pass over for McCallion, but it got tipped, and it's going to go back into Rebels territory with 15 on the shot clock. Carter McAdam getting another offensive look. Pass for Baker. Down to Peterson, 5 to shoot. Pass over to McCallion. He's got some space. And 6 on 5. Ferguson with the save, and Fort Saskatchewan getting another power play look here. Penalty called on Tyler Clarkson and the Rebels. Chance to cut down this lead a little bit more as McCallion's pass got knocked down by Evan Ertmote. Kohut and Fairholm will give and go. Jackson Porter behind the net. McCallion. They'll swing it around the horn. Here's Baker trying to go a low glove side. That one knee down, saved by Colton Ferguson, works once again. Wyatt Avery takes a hard hit from Carter Albrecht, and now Albrecht, the stronger man in this battle, pushes him out. In transition, Grayson Albrecht, but they're going to blow it down by the bench, and now the Rebels bench is going to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Fort Saskatchewan, well, they were going in transition, couple of collisions in front of the bench. And I believe one of the Rebels coaches must have said something. Ref wasn't too happy about it, so we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 82 seconds. Plenty of room on the floor for Jack Walton and company. Walton's on hat-trick watch after a shorty in the first period, and he's got the 7th of the game for Red Deer now. McAdam with Scrimshaw. A couple of D guys are going to stay in play. McCallion and Porter. Now it's Porter, tries to pull it short side, had a little bit of room, couldn't put it in the net though. McCallion with the back pedal. Over to Jackson Baker. Porter's out in front. He'll drive and score. Jackson Porter. And the lead's down to 2. It's 7-5. Now off that faceoff, here's Porter back to back. You couldn't walk it into a better spot. Jackson Porter's got 2, and the Rebels have 6. Another face-off violation called, and here goes Cohunt. They're trying to go low glove now on Colton Ferguson, but he gets the better of Jackson Cohunt that time. Quick update from the NLL. Buffalo's taking a 14-13 lead over the Colorado Mammoth, and a penalty's up coming against the Rebels here as Carter Albrecht is going off for tripping. Well, just as I say that, it looks like Zed Williams tied the ball game at 14-14 in the NLL Championship. Goals ablazing there. They're blazing here as well. It'll be a 4-on-3 for the Rampage with 13:49 left to go in period number 2. Out of town scoreboard in the Junior B circuit over in Winnipeg. It's 14-8. Warriors leading the Blizz. It's the only live score I can find for you right now. Taysdale's playing the bottom lefty position. 5-on-3 look now for the Rampage. Pass was intended for Tanner Parks. He's going to go past him. Lucky Clarkson's up there. Tisdale now quick sticks this one into row number 4. They've got Cohen in front of that. Wide open and moving right to left. And then he had to go right back. Was Ferguson. Made the stop. The rebound doesn't hit him. Justin St. Germain was blazing off the bench for the Rampage. Now they'll get it set up. Seth Fairholm's on the floor, so it's back to a 5-on-4 look. So Tisdale, those are the lefties. Back, quick stick by Park. Well, he struck out on it. Park's got it again, and he scores, but it's just as the shot clock was expiring. Put one past Peck, and again, just a second too short. McCallion now shorthanded. They can kill off the next 16 seconds or so. McCallion's got some space, avoids the crease. Wow, I thought we had a good look at that one. McCallion gets called for a crease violation, and Josh St. Germain, he'll hand it off for Spencer Nygaard. Tisdale up top for Lavoie. Park, same shot. He beat Peck on as the shot clock was expiring last time. This time Peck doesn't even have to make a save. It bounces out of play. Peterson across the floor. Back to even strength. That pass down low. Riley Lewis has to chase it down. Shot goes wide. Peterson's got the rebound. Over to Riley Lewis. Pass for Carter Albrecht. He was cutting out in front. Got deflected, and Carter Albrecht lowers the boom. Steps into Noah Tavares, but now going the other way, it's Wyatt Avery. Avery now, fancy footwork in tight. Peck says no penalty upcoming. Gonna be a slashing call. I think it's gonna be Hackett who's going off. Red Deer back to the power play. One for 4 so far in the game. St. Germain will set the power play up top. Tanner Park uses the net. Some protection. Cooper Lavoie's out front. Trying to tuck it high on Peck, doesn't go. St. Germain back with it. Over to Nygaard. Tisdale's in the corner. Park for Tisdale. Fake pass, took the shot. Peck didn't bite. St. Germain back to 22 on the shot clock. Now it's Tisdale walking in tight. Tries to go high to high. Jordan Peck out and challenges, gets a piece over the shoulder. St. Germain now. Lavoie's shot goes over the goal. Tisdale's got the rebound. Pass got grabbed by Mikey Gillespie, and he's going to run it. On the back check is Nygaard. Out to help as well as Raider. Tyler Clarkson with the hit. Kohut's got it. Can still kill, about 12 seconds left in this Hackett penalty. Sends it over to McCallion, and McCallion bobbles it. Hasn't been the best game we've seen Josh McCallion play yet this season. A couple of those bobbled passes not going in his favor. Now a low shot there by St. Germain in transition. Easy save by Peck, and he's going to have to get some gear work done. Maybe it looks like a strap's not done up on his helmet. Maybe something popped off. He'll do some quick handiwork on it. Dying minute of the ball game in Buffalo, and the Bandits are up 15-14 on the Colorado Mammoth. Coming down to the wire in game one of the NLL Championship. On the NHL circuit, the Oilers, well, they were trailing 2-1 against the Colorado Avalanche last I checked. That's what it is after 40 minutes of play at Rogers Place. Earlier this morning on the Tier 1 circuit, the Manitoba Blizzard pulled off the upset, beating the Edmonton Warriors 10-8. The Warriors, obviously one of the favorites to win the league and probably even make a run at the Founders Cup this year with the offense they got. Back to even strength, Ethan Peterson. Low to low, misses the target. Peck's pass up, but with 4 seconds left, Riley Lewis fires it wide again. The offense has had their moments, mostly in transition for Fort Saskatchewan. Rampage offense with 20 on the shot clock. Pass out in front, and LaFrance goes and lowers the boom on Lavoie. Rebels control into Red Deer territory. McAdam, little inside out move. McCallion now passes it to Kohut, but it gets blown down, and we got a penalty upcoming. Miller's scrimshaw is going to go to the sin bin, and it's another power play opportunity for Red Deer in this contest. They had a penalty-filled affair yesterday in their 12-11 loss against the Saskatchewan SWAT. I don't think we had that many penalties in the Rebels-Beaumont game yesterday, but the special teams getting some work in. It's a final in Buffalo. Bandits win 15-14 to take game one over the Colorado Mammoth. Matt Vince shuts the door at the end. Quick opportunity there as Jack Walton doesn't miss by much. Tisdale up top, heavy shot by Tanner Park. I think that caught Albrecht. Put his body on the line. Park with it again. Walton doesn't like the lane he's got. Park over to Tisdale, short side. Peck, one knee down, rebound pops out, and it's going to be grabbed by Seth McKenzie. McKenzie's got Peterson off the bench. Peterson on a break. Tie ball game. Ethan Peterson, the captain, shorthanded. And now Carter Albrecht as Tyler Clarkson gets a little bit of revenge on Carter Albrecht. He was the one who ran over Noah Tavares right in a similar spot earlier in the game. Rebels still shorthanded for the next 50 seconds or so. As Kohut gets thrown to the ground by Rayner. This Rampage defense starting to play tough, but they're going to call a cross-check on Corbin Rayner. The penalty-filled contest continues. Rebels yet to score on the power play in this game. Kohut for Fairhope. 4-on-4 for the next 30 seconds. Then it'll be a Fort Saskatchewan power play. McCallion's out in front. He scores. Josh McCallion takes the pass out in front. One fake, one finish, and it's 8-7 for the Rebels. Josh McCallion's got his second of the game, and now in transition, here goes LaFrance with Albrecht. Peterson's up top. Pass is going to go over his head, but another penalty upcoming. This one's going to be called on Justin St. Germain. And the parade to the penalty box ensues. Two minutes for high stick gets called. He wanted to try plead his case, but without a lawyer, you're not going to win that battle. Jordan Peck's on the bench now. So Scrimshaw's going to be coming to the penalty box in 5 seconds. Ref wants them to put a 6-man out. They don't actually have to. And it's over to Jackson Baker. He'll take the shot on goal. Ferguson with the stop. Now it's Noah Tavares in a foot race. Run over by Fairholm. Peterson run over again by Jack Walton. The bodies are flying in the JRC. Now trying to avoid the crease is Wyatt Avery. And Ethan Peterson gives him a free seat. You don't even have to pay for it. Baker to Kohut. Back up top, Jackson Baker has it. Now Fairhope. Short side, low attempt. Ferguson got a toe on it. McCallion's out in front, perfectly placed, and he scores. Throw those hats. Josh McCallion's got 3, and it's 9-7. After a quick mop of the floor, we're back. Rebels lead by 2. They were down by 2 going into the second period. They flipped it around with a big second period offensive effort, despite taking 5 minor penalties. Jackson Kohut with it. They're still on the power play for the next 40 seconds. Loose ball got stripped by Tyler Clarkson, and he heads north. Red Deer's going to call their timeout. Not sure who exactly called that one. Maybe it was the goalie or the defense, but a timeout was called nonetheless, so we'll step aside for the next 30 seconds and come back with the last 5 minutes and 3 seconds of period number 2. Well, we're back, and we got a goaltending change as well. Rebels netminder Colton Ferguson comes out. I mean, if you don't want the details, plug your ears. I'll give you 2 seconds. He's throwing up all over the bench. That's what's happening. So that's your injury update. Carson Wells comes between the pipes. .729 per the RMLL website. That's his save percentage this season. Carson Wells now between the pipes for the Red Deer Rampage, and they trailed by 2. Offense goes to work. 5 seconds left. That pass for Justin St. Germain out of reach. And it's going to come all the way down to Carson Wells, who tests out the light fixture inside the JRC. Seth McKenzie, the last O guy off the bench. Jackson Baker's got it now. Pass out in front. McKenzie's there, and he scores. Seth McKenzie with his first of the game, and the lead is up to 3. Out the face-off, here goes Fairholm on a break, off the crossbar. Seth Fairholm beat Wells, couldn't put it between the posts though. Fairholm, left side, up top for Peterson. Jackson Kohut now has Fairholm, back to Kohut again. Low shot, glove side, stopped by Wells. Rebound's gonna get pushed back by Evan Ertmode. And it'll be Carson Wells with it to hand it off. Jack Walton. Far side of the floor. Parker Sola's shot bounces wide. And now in front of the bench, we got a little bit of rough stuff. Lewis is getting into it. They give it to the Rebels. Walker for McCallion. Off the bench, got stopped by Wells. Track meet ensues. Avery cuts to the middle and he scores. It's their first goal in almost 10 minutes, but Wyatt Avery pounds one past Peck and it's 10-8. McAdam for Fairholm off that face-off. Here's Kohut. Tries to fake and tries to pull it. Far side, near side. Wells read him. They're going to need some clutch goaltending late if the Rampage want a chance to come back here. 2:30 to go. Fancy footwork by Tyler Clarkson, but then his pass a little high for Isaac Tisdale. Tisdale's been held quiet here by the Rebels defense. They're doing a good job on him. Leading the Rampage in scoring up until this point. Peck now closes the wickets, not going 5-hole on him. Walker for Lewis. He'll stay in play. McCallion now. Peterson back to Riley Lewis. Steps in, tees it in, scores. Riley Lewis has his first of the game, and it's 11-8 game. Scrimshaw for Lewis. Back to back, got stopped by Wells. It's still rolling around in there. And now Lewis. Pardon me, that's Lavoie ends up running into Scrimshaw. And he's going off. Rebels back to the power play. 0 for 7 so far. They're going to get another look with $1:50 to go here in period number 2. Kohut for Baker. Peterson's behind the net. Comes back to Kohut up top. Behind the net's Peterson. Jackson Baker. Give and go with Peterson. 15 on the shot clock. All the way across the floor. Wells way out to challenge. Back to McCallion. Good cut by Wells. Got out there in time, but if there's a quick stick look, the Rebels could probably have him beat. Kohut now whips that one way out of play. Jordan Peck can't track it down behind the net. Justin St. Germain runs up on it. And now he gets pushed to the ground, and a call's coming against Fort Saskatchewan on Carter Albrecht, and he knows it. Head down, walk of shame, sit for 2. The best part about getting a penalty tonight, none of the power plays have been effective. I know we've played a lot of 4-on-4, but really neither power play is dominating by any means. Rampage parents, possibly coaches, want a 4 called on Albrecht. They'll give him a 2 for the cross check. Gillespie to defend. St. Germain. Park as well. St. Germain back for Park. He'll set a pick as well. Pass for Tisdale got knocked down by Gillespie. Park's got 5 to shoot. Runs up on it. Can't get a twister on goal. Still hopping around, about a 2-second differential with the shot clock and the game clock. Darren Beray's going to call Jordan Peck to the bench, and they'll play 5 on 4. We're playing 4 on 4 here. Baker, Peterson, and Kohut are your lefties. McCallion and Lewis are the righties. 8 to shoot, 10 left to go in the period. Here's Baker. Kohut, gotta let it go, and it's wide as he gets run over by Tyler Clarkson. Hammers Jackson Porter. Ref says a little too much, though. And boy, what we haven't seen in big hits in the first 9 games of the season, we've seen it all here, and it's all coming at this side of the floor, too. Or the Rampage, our massive hit by Tyler Clarkson. They're going to give him a 2 for charging, and 1 second left. So Regan Walker's with it. Probably going to have to shoot it from up top, and Walker will. Actually, it wasn't a bad shot. Didn't miss by much. But that'll do it after 40 minutes of play in Fort Saskatchewan. The Rebels flip around a 5-3 deficit to an 11-8 lead. We're coming back with a third on 12-ounce sports. Fort Saskatchewan Rebels lacrosse all season long is brought to you by Sports Interaction. Go to sportsinteraction.com/rebels and sign up today if you want to support free lacrosse broadcasts on 12-ounce sports all season long. Senior and junior Rebels, sportsinteraction.com/rebels. Sign up today. Get a first deposit match bonus up to $500. After 40 minutes of play, it's the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels up 11-8 as we head into period number 3. Rebels start on the power play. Shots after 40 minutes of play, 38-29 in favor of the Rebels. Back to 4-on-4 now for the first 40 seconds. Josh McCallion with it, little room, pulls it short side on Carson Wells. Didn't start the game, came in relief of Colton Ferguson. Having a little bit of stomach issues, we'll put it that way. Rampage set from the far corner. Jackson Baker will defend. Walton with it. Takes a couple of cross checks. Rampage will be on the power play, but they gave him a shot clock reset. Refs knew it shouldn't be coming, so they'll blow it down. And now Red Deer's power play down to 61 seconds left. McCallion. Rebels will set up the power play behind the net. McCallion up top. Kohut for Baker. Short side look, won't connect. 3 to get something on goal. Fairholm's in tight and he scores. Since Fairholm's got his second, it's on the power play and it's 12-8 Rebels. First power play goal of the game for the Rebels. They were 0 for 7 up until the third period. Kohut grabs an assist. Peterson now's out in front and he scores, leads up to 5. Ethan Peterson's got his second of the game, and Fort Saskatchewan running away with it now. They're up by 5 with 18 to play. Pass down low is intended for Jack Walton. Couldn't corral it, would have had some room in front. And now Peck with the Hail Mary pass for McAdam. Hands it to Kohut. Baker and McKenzie are the last two O guys out the gate. Now it's McKenzie down low dish. Jackson Baker, far side fake, short side shot, got stopped by Wells. Rebounds there, Riley Lewis grabs it. Lewis now, defender all over him, penalty coming. Didn't quite really see anything worth the penalty, but ref thinks otherwise. He's set Fairholm out in front. It's gonna roll behind Wells and in. Not before the ref blows it down. The one it's gonna be a holding call coming against Wyatt Avery. I'll let you at home review the tape there, but it'll be a 2-minute for a holding call against the Rampage, and Fort Saskatchewan going back to the power play here in period number 3. Kohut, McCallion, give and go. Baker Down low, Peterson set up behind the goal. Baker's pass intended for McCallion went off defender. And now that one got knocked away by a good stick out in front. Tyler Clarkson tipped a couple of passes on the penalty kill, doing work for Red Deer. Jack Walton getting pushed on by Hackett as he drives him into the ground. Hackett trying to chase down that loose ball, and he will. St. Germain's on the back check. McCallion with 60 on the power play. Peterson's on hat-trick watch as well. Sky pass up for Kohut. Can't climb a ladder to come down with it. Kohut throws that one away as Ryland Walsh is waiting down low. St. Germain throws a bouncer, goes through everyone. And the Rebels back on the power play. Transition. Back for Scrimshaw, and he gets run over by Clarkson. Now a late call coming as McCallion has the ball. Rebels will play 6-on-4. Fairholm's off the bench. Shot goes wide. Call coming on Tyler Clarkson. Was made a little late, but it'll be a cross-checking penalty. So it'll be a 5-on-3 for 8 seconds, barring a really quick goal. And then Fort Saskatchewan's going back to the power play again. Kohut's up top. McCallion and Kohut give and go. Peterson's behind the net. Wells loves to challenge out far, so at least the crease dive isn't, or the behind the back, behind the net dunk isn't really a factor for Peterson. But again, the Rebels not close enough to get a quick stick on. Goal is Wyatt Avery. Tries to go far, puts it off the toe of Jordan Peck. Now it's Peterson, has to avoid a hit. By the bench, he runs it down and gets through Avery. Seth Fairholt, the extra man, and he can't catch that pass. It goes off the top of his stick and into Red Deer's bench. Justin St. Germain. 1 goal in the contest for him, pair of assists as well. Spencer Nygaard gets pushed off the ball. Walker throws it up. Here's Gillespie. Walker's with him. Fairholm as well, and a penalty coming. Ryland Walsh having a few words with Isaac Tisdale, and both of them are going to go sit in the sin bin for a while. Rebels will play 4-on-3 now. Here's McCallion by the net. It's Fairholm. Quick stick scores. That's what we were talking about. Wells comes out to challenge. If you can get in tight, you got the quick stick look. And Seth Fairholm makes them pay. It's 14-8. McAdam for Riley Lewis has to watch out. Man off the bench as Noah Tavares almost stripped him for a second. It's the 11s as Tavares is watching Baker, 4-on-4. 6-goal lead now for the Rebels. Shot by Baker over the net and wide. Remember, Red Deer was up 5-3 after 20 minutes of play. They played a nearly perfect first period. And they got out to a good start in the second as well. Had a lead, and it was a couple of goals. I mean, your turning point right now is the Jackson Porter back-to-back goals, seconds apart. Scores the second one in transition, made it 7-6, and ever since then, Fort Saskatchewan really felt like they were in control of this game. Now walking that one out front with Spencer Nygaard. Got a pick from Parker Sola, but the shot off target. Park for St. Germain up top. Back to Park, outside look, and he scores. Tyler Park finds the back of the net, and it's 14-9. Park's got his second of the game, and Red Deer now trails by 5. St. Germain for Jack Walton. Back to Cooper Lavoie. Lavoie's shot now, short side. Went off the post and out of play. Beat Peck, not the pipe. Jack Walton's up top. Has Sola. Sola's pass got picked out by Scrimshaw. Now in transition, it's Scrimshaw and McAdam. McAdam's on a break. Carter McAdam for number 2. Wells says no. Carson Wells with his biggest stop of the evening. Keeps it a 5-goal game. Here goes Tanner Park now. Spin move, dish for Walton. Back to Nygaard. Nygaard throws it on goal. Easy save for Peck, and he wants to throw it for a breakaway, but he'll just bounce it to LaFrance. McCallion now. Backs it up, 6 to shoot. Lewis behind the net. Popped it in the corner now from an awkward angle. Put it on goal. Well, they'll say it didn't get to the goal. Lavoie's out of the corner. Walton now the ball handler for St. Germain. Pounds it on goal. Peck out challenging at the top of his crease. Absorbs it. Now Ryland Walsh and Hackett having some words with Isaac Tisdale as they go off for a change. Peterson to Baker. This one's gonna bounce into the players' boxes, and in transition, Tyler Clarkson got a pass from the coach, and then he goes and blows a tire. Josh St. Germain. Cooper Lavoie has Sola. Long shot there by Lavoie. Easy save. Rebound grab by Albrecht, and he's going to send LaFrance on a breakaway, but one hand on his stick. Couldn't catch it. have to work on the stretch pass in practice. If you're Darren Barre's squad, multiple chances in transition have been gone wayside by bad passes. Well, not really bad passes either, but you got to be able to come down with it and catch it. Justin St. Germain now for Sola. Him and Nygaard, possibly the smallest duo of lefties on the floor, but boy, they play with some speed. They're not afraid to set picks either. Been doing some work here for this Rampage offense and causing havoc. Walker to the middle, shot got tipped. Loose ball grabbed by Jevin Monroe. And now Monroe goes and sets a pick on Walker. Gutbuster. Pass for Park. Baker's all over him. Ball bounces. Nygaard sub shot, scores. Spencer Nygaard snipes, and the Rampage have 10. Spencer Nygaard's got the hat trick, but the Rebels go back the other way. It's Carter Albrecht. 15-10, Fort Saskatchewan leads. Now we got a little rough stuff by Lavoie and McCallion off the face-off. Looks like Red Deer's getting a power play out of it. Cross-check is the call on McCallion. And with 8:20 left to go in period number 3, Red Deer goes to the power play. St. Germain. Maybe the Rampage have a feeling if they can get one here. It's only a 4-goal game, a little bit of time. Here's St. Germain towards the net, bounces it wide. Fairholt from Albrecht. And the Rebels extended their 5-goal lead. Rebels down a man, will get to eat the shot clock for about 30 seconds or so. Peterson on the right half wall. Content to hang on to it for the next 7 seconds. He'll take a beating on the boards as Ertmold and Avery giving him a couple extra hacks and whacks. And they'll call a loose ball push against the Rampage. Riley Lewis now cuts out in front, has some space. Wells got a piece with his left pad. Riley Lewis up top. 15 on the shot clock. He can still kill. Fairholt tries a low spin defense. He'll slide in there to try and defend him. 4 of them on Fairholm. Can't knock him down. But a penalty's upcoming. And it'll be a holding call against the Rampage. Fort Saskatchewan's going to the power play with 6:36 left to go in about 15 seconds. Once Josh McCallion gets out of jail, they'll back it out. So once McCallion's out, they're going to have 13 seconds to go with. Usually you'd like to have him set up 4 down low and have McCallion step in as the high guy. Out of the penalty box, I guess they think they got enough time. Here's Cohunt. Back to McCallion, down low dish, bounces over to Riley Lewis. His shot got blocked by the defender. And it's gonna hop over to Wyatt Avery. Avery's got Nygaard off the bench. They're not gonna play short. They're down by 5 though. Gotta take some risks at some point in time. Rampage coming off a 12-11 loss against the Saskatchewan SWAT last night at home. Rebels coming off a 13-9 win at home over the Beaumont Outlaws. LaFrance forces the turnover. Walker's got it. Sends it over to Hackett now across the restraining line. Peterson and Fairholm will play give and go. Baker's up top, down to Fairholm. Peterson with it. Fires it. Baker's got the rebound. Cohunt with 12 to shoot. Peterson down the highway, fires and scores. Ethan Peterson, he's got another. That's the hat trick, and it's 16-10 for Fort Saskatchewan. Rampage with the face-off win. Nygaard, no penalty getting called, and now there's a couple of words by the penalty boxes. And Ethan Peterson's gonna jog. He knows exactly what he said. Goalie timeout called. Jordan Peck's going to walk to the bench, as well as Carson Wells will step aside and come back with the last 4 minutes and 44 seconds here on 12-Ounce Sports. Rampage balling there on the power play. Albrecht and Nygaard having a disagreement out in front. Park with the shot, Peck with the save, and he's got to bounce back on it. Mikey Gillespie, little hop step. Gets away around Barrett Clark. Now it's Jackson Baker. Spin move on the inside. Pass for Fairholm. He's out in front. Wells stops him with the right arm. Justin St. Germain in transition. Nygaard's off the bench. Pass down low, intended for Tisdale. Jordan Peck gets it in his stick. They'll send it over to LaFrance, who's got about 3 seconds to get it across the restraining line. Maybe half a second to spare, and he'll do so. Cooper Lavoie just launches his stick at LaFrance. That won't work, but he still tries to lay a hit. Penalty upcoming. 2 refs have their arm in the air. Would have to assume it'll be a hold. Believe that was Wyatt Avery with his stick wrapped around LaFrance. And for the next 36 seconds, we'll play 4-on-4. We're coming up on 2 hours real time for this game. It's been a slow one. What feels like a million penalties and 26 goals on top of that. The stops and starts have been fast and furious. Kohut, pass to no one. Update on the Edmonton Warriors Manitoba Blizzard third game. The Edmonton Warriors beat the Blizzard 14-8, so they take 2 of the games on the road. The Blizz take 1. Well, kind of steal one at home. So slash is going to get called on Jackson Baker. Why not test out the sin bin gate one more time? Game sheet's got to be getting filled for our penalty box guy, Rob. But the Rampager on the power play for the next 5 seconds or so. Park up top. Justin St. Germain as Peterson gets out of the box. As for Nygaard. Albrecht's down low. Trying to scoop this one up as he runs over Park. Gives him a little bit of an extra boot as well. And Peck now lobs one for Peterson. Peterson, spin move around Clarkson, and he almost loses his weapon. Lost the ball, though, that's for sure, and cutting back into the crease with it is Clarkson. Peterson now. Low to high fake, and they got Kohut sitting around the blue line. Peterson with the pick. Kohut, little fake, had the defense going. McCallion's in tight. Can't tuck it in the short corner. Tend to put something on goal. Jackson Kohut now manhandles Clarkson. Trying to get a backhand away. Won't get on goal, and now Kohut grabs his stick, gets himself set again. Peterson down to Kohut. A lot of hard picks being set on that side of the floor. Less than 90 seconds to play here in regulation. Fairholm drives the goal. Rebels lead by 6, shot clock expiring. Avery, fake shot. Here comes Tanner Park off the bench. Cooper Lavoie now tees one off the iron. They'll get the reset, so we got hypothetically 2 more possessions left to go in the game. Isaac Tisdale now. Up top, Nygaard with it. Hard pick, and Nygaard picks on the other post. If you're the Rampage, I mean, your roster, you're really young to begin with. You don't have that size. But what you got 2 great offensive pieces. You've got the lefty and Isaac Tisdale and the righty and Tanner Park. That's some keys to success when you're looking at the future of this team. 1-2 years down the road, likely. Red Deer does have a good, offensive core in place if they're going to run it through those guys. Pending the A-ball if they end up playing as it sets Fairholm out in front. Wells has got to make one more stop here. Rampage possession. You can shut off the shot clock. Justin St. Germain, less than 5 seconds left, and we'll maybe we got a little bit of rough stuff. Corbin Rayner and Miller scrimshot get into it, so the refs will run down the clock. And that's going to do it in Fort Saskatchewan. The Rebels pick up 2 wins this weekend at home. This one 16-10 over the Red Deer Rampage. Final shots, 51-37. in favor of the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels. 16-10 your final score. Carson Wells has to come in for relief, and Jordan Peck picks up the win. For myself, Cody Jansen, everyone at 12 Ounce Sports. Until next time, we'll talk to you then.